boxer, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
I haven't seen Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know.
This fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement.
Floyd Mayweather has once again disrupted the boxing industry, creating massive media buzz by calling out Jake Paul after Gervonta "Tank" Davis's fight was canceled due to Davis's ongoing legal issues. Mayweather stated he's fully prepared to replace Tank and face Jake in a legitimate, professional match, not a money-grab exhibition. He made it clear he won't move weight classes or compromise business terms, signaling a serious competitive plan. This surprising challenge has fueled viral online engagement, major audience interest, and huge potential revenue, as fans question whether Mayweather is actually preparing for a profitable, real return to the ring.
But at the time, people badly wanted you and Jake Paul to fight. Is he someone you're interested in, or no?
Well, if you go back, you got to do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money. And
Due to the lawsuit and ongoing investigation, Davis's highly promoted exhibition with Jake Paul is canceled, as Most Valuable Promotions confirmed. The team decided the event's marketing, sponsorship revenue, and global publicity cannot continue responsibly under these legal circumstances.
The situation, it was supposed to be boxing Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled the plug on that fight. It says, here's a tweet I'm reading from Mike Coppinger. As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring magazine that December 12th and the 19th...
Davis faces a civil lawsuit from his former girlfriend, Courtney Roselle, over an alleged October 27 incident at a Miami nightclub where she works. The legal filing accuses him of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and causing emotional distress. According to the complaint, Davis dragged and assaulted her in restricted areas of the club, including the stairwell, kitchen, and parking garage. Miami Gardens authorities confirm an active and serious investigation running alongside the civil action, focusing on accountability and potential damages.
Former boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend. This is according to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Courtney Russell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship. Russell claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami.
Chael Sonnen recently commented on the controversy and potential cancellation involving the Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis fight, emphasizing that he personally contacted both sides to uncover reliable information. Sonnen explained that he reached out to Jake Paul's management and Tank Davis's representatives to verify whether the cancellation rumors were accurate, but neither camp provided any clear or confident response. Their refusal to address the situation directly raised even more concern and suspicion within the boxing community, especially among media outlets focused on the business side of combat sports. Sonnen suggested that when two major fighters remain silent, it often signals bigger issues related to financial negotiations, legal risks, promotional disputes, and high-value broadcast deals that could impact revenue and fan expectations.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched them weigh in. I want to say it was like...
With Tank's fight now uncertain, Floyd Mayweather has stepped in and publicly challenged Jake Paul. Mayweather has been blunt about Paul's boxing skill. He admits Paul brings entertainment value, strong marketing, and massive pay-per-view revenue through his influencer brand. However, he still does not consider him a legitimate world-class boxer. Mayweather insists facing Jake would be easy money, not a serious challenge for someone with his undefeated legacy. He says Paul has built a profitable business and powerful global audience, but elite competition would expose gaps in training, discipline, and technique.
There are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
Mayweather's refusal to give rematches has always left fans wondering about missed opportunities and unresolved questions. Meanwhile, Jake Paul often faces opponents far older, smaller, or long past their best, creating controversy that boosts digital media attention and audience engagement. Even Mayweather has warned that Jake's opponent selection may weaken his credibility. He agrees Paul brings entertainment and massive revenue, but believes that against a real, high-profile fighter, the result could expose his limitations.
Second question is just with like Logan Paul and then Jake Paul now fighting Mike soon in the summer. What do you think defines a real boxer? Because I feel like people are still confused on if Jake Paul is a YouTuber boxer or a real boxer. How do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
What he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
Many fighters and analysts praise Floyd Mayweather for more than elite defense or speed. They emphasize his powerful mindset, unshakable confidence, and strategic focus on financial success. Experts argue his belief in dominating any opponent created massive brand value and marketing power. As Tony Jeff noted, Mayweather's mental edge often secured victory and protected his lucrative legacy before punches even landed.
They're really confident, they really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
Now, if you watch his fight in 2013 when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me just feel like this guy is a piece of shit. And
reports suggest Mayweather is now targeting a blockbuster showdown with Mike Tyson, and analysts see this as more than another cash-driven event. They believe Floyd wants to prove he still dominates headlines and remains a premium brand in combat sports. With massive attention on the Davis versus Paul promotion, Mayweather refuses to let anyone, even his protege, exceed his market value. Experts call this classic Floyd, focused on legacy, influence, and high-profit entertainment. While Gervonta and Jake build their own spectacle, Floyd's rumored comeback reflects a bigger theme: global boxing icons competing for relevance, monetization, and long-term star power in a rapidly evolving sports business.
So many celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about whether
Jake Paul's promotional team is actively searching for a high-value replacement as Tank Davis faces legal problems. Reports suggest they contacted Terrence Crawford, a pound-for-pound superstar who could deliver strong pay-per-view revenue and global audience expansion. His elite reputation increases marketing power, brand value, sponsorship opportunities, and media rights profitability for everyone involved. Talks remain early, and nothing is officially confirmed, but the negotiations already attract interest, industry attention, and digital engagement. Even speculation sparks high CPM curiosity as fans anticipate a matchup that strengthens business growth across the boxing economy.
Technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement: Ryan Garcia, Terrence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, I mean, come on, we'll get into them, and Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. He's bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that was, because he was up for the fight, but Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul, but that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star. He's a big public figure. Loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is. He's just a big name, good-looking kid, great fighter, fast stands, and he's quite controversial as well. So that'd be a good fight, but the weight disparity, again, it's too big. So for me, when I say it'd be a good fight, it'd be interesting to see how Ryan Garcia would go in against Jake Paul. But to be honest, Jake Paul's far too big for him. Who else we got? Terrence Crawford. I can't see Terrence Crawford entertained in this, but then you never know, do you? If the old bunts make sense, then it makes people do strange things. And Terrence Crawford's getting on now. What is he, 37, 38 years old? Had that great win against Canelo. Would he jump in with Jake Paul for mega money? Probably. He'd paced him as well. I mean, Terrence Crawford would be too much for Jake Paul, even though he's up at 168 in his last fight, super middleweight, my old weight division. So I don't think Jake Paul would fight him. Francis Ngannou, I mean, why even chuck Ngannou in the mix? Ngannou would just hammer him. He's too big. I mean, he talked about Anthony Joshua. That never happened, did it? It's a load of bollocks. He talked about fighting AJ, then announced he's fighting someone the size of one of AJ's legs in Gervonta Davis. So for me, that's nothing. And the Nate Diaz fight, he's already fought him. It was a rubbish fight.
Many critics strongly oppose the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis matchup, claiming it's more marketing strategy than legitimate competition. Former champion Carl Froch argues the fight offers minimal sporting value, citing Paul's limited experience against Davis's elite skills. He says Paul functions more as an entertainment brand than a genuine contender. Froch believes creating pay-per-view hype and social media revenue shouldn't replace true boxing credibility. For him, the real debate isn't about who wins, but whether this event deserves recognition as a serious, professional bout in the modern combat sports industry.
Absolute clown world. Really fitting for fake Paul, the clown, because it's a clown show. You're putting him in with somebody who's 100 pounds lighter. I mentioned the weight disparity before. Getting on for 7 stone. It's a weight-governed sport. It should not be happening. He's too small, Gervonta Davis, against the big Jake Paul, who's in the gym a lot, training. Apparently he's fit and strong and he has a go and he can fight a little bit, which I disagree with because I don't think he can. He might be able to fight a little bit. He certainly can't box. But these allegations against Gervonta Davis, they're very serious allegations. Anybody that's laying hands on women needs to be shut down straight away. They need to be, for me, they need to be locked up in the key frame.
Amir Khan slammed the matchup as a huge mismatch. He criticized promoters for approving what felt like exploitation, saying putting Tank in danger is unfair. With Jake Paul weighing over 200 pounds and Davis never competing above 140, Khan warned the fight is risky and careless. He questioned whether Davis is chasing a big payday, monetizing hype, maximizing profits, boosting commercial viewership, and then exiting the boxing industry after securing financial investment and high revenue streams.
Paul, he gets on my nerves a little bit. I think the way he conducts himself, the way he acts, and I think he's just full of himself as well, and he thinks he can fight, and he's only been boxing for what, like a year. But he's been very lucky though. He has he's had some good wins against like MMA fighters. He's a little bit heavier than me, but I don't mind putting the pounds on. Just
many fans are questioning why the fight was canceled, especially when Tank appears healthy and prepared to compete. They argue that other athletes have fought during legal controversies, so stopping this matchup feels more about protecting brand image, sponsorship deals, and corporate reputation than real concern for safety. Supporters insist that with so much hype, marketing investment, and potential revenue at stake, the event should have continued if Tank was willing. However, others believe that proceeding during such serious allegations could trigger massive public backlash, damage business relationships, and negatively impact the sport's credibility.
So, did Gervonta Davis's cancellation of his fight with Jake Paul, was it the right decision from Jake Paul, his team, and Netflix? Did they make the right move to cancel the Gervonta Davis fight? I want to know y'all thoughts in the comment section. We'll probably do a longer video on this later, but I want y'all to interact and let me know y'all thoughts. Now that we know the fight is canceled, they announced it late yesterday while we were in the middle of our live stream. What is your thoughts? Do you think the fight should have been canceled? Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you.
What's your view on this situation? Should Floyd Mayweather invest his star power to fight Jake Paul now? Or should promoters wait for legal clarity to maximize pay-per-view revenue, sponsorship profits, marketing impact, and global streaming engagement? Comment below.